this is Vinita and welcome to Hopeful Turns. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this crochet baby booties. Now, this is a very quick and easy pattern and it's very beginner friendly. So if you are someone who is new to it and you really want to make something for your baby, this is the pattern that you can try. And this is one of the patterns which you can play around with, in the sense that you can just accessorize it any way that you like. So here I have just used some chain stitches to make this tie-up thing. So you can keep like this as a shoes, or you can even just make it like a boot kind of a thing. Okay, so there are a lot of options to use this one. It's really simple, very easy, and I find that if you use the tie-up, it will help the shoe to stay in place. As you know, the babies just kick them off like anything. So if you are using this tie-up kind of a thing, it will stay in place. But if you do not want to, you can just remove this off. The good thing about that is that you can use different colored tie-ups also. So if you have a ribbon, you can use that, or maybe you can use a white color one. So each time you put it, you can just mix and match and you get a different color thing. I'll just show you how you can do something else with it, and it's very easy. You can finish it off in half an hour maximum. And this is one pattern that I have made to go with my mittens. So if you're interested to see the mitten patterns, if you check on the I button that is popping up, you can see that as well. So here, this is the booty, so you can use something like this, just a plain and normal one. Or what you can do is, if you have buttons or pom-poms or any flower, maybe a crochet flower itself, you can attach it something like this. I have not attached it. I prefer the tie-up ones. It is quite practical to use. But if you are looking to take some pictures, this kind of things also look really beautiful. Okay, so you can just stitch this up and maybe hot glue it. Just make sure that it is very much in place. Otherwise, you know, the kids will just take this off. This is the first thing that they'll pick it up. So here you can accessorize it with something like this, or even a pom-pom. Okay, now the pattern is very simple. You're going to just use this kind of pattern. You're going to work in flat rows. So if you can handle some single crochet, you can make this. So we are going to make some flat rows of single crochet. I'll be showing you how to make a single crochet, or you can just check up the basic stitches. So this is the pattern. We will fold it like this and make it into a booties or shoes or socks, whatever you want to call it. It's a very versatile pattern and extremely beginner friendly. This is another way of using it. It's a very cute one. I really love it, and it just works up like, say, 30 minutes. If you have it, you can make it. Now for the pattern here, this is made for a 0 to 3 month old baby, but I will be mentioning how you can change the stitches to get to a larger size. So I'll just quickly run through the materials that you'll require. So here I have used a DK weight yarn and a 4 mm crochet hook and a pair of scissors and a stitch marker. Stitch marker is not actually necessary, and I forgot to bring my yarn needle. So you will need a yarn needle because we are going to stitch this up. So you will need a yarn needle or a darning needle. In case you want, you can use a different colored yarn itself to make a long chain stitch to tie it up, or a ribbon. So these are the few requirements. And if you're looking for any other baby patterns, I do have a playlist. I'll put that up in the description box. You can give it a try. And if at any point in the video you like what you see, please do not forget to press on the like button. And if you're new to my channel, please do consider subscribing. So we'll just jump onto the pattern. So we'll start this off with a slip knot. So to make a slip knot, you take your yarn and then loop it around your finger like an X. Then take this loop off and pull your working yarn through this loop. So this here is your slip knot. Once you have that, you just attach it to your hook. So our slip knot is attached to our hook. Now what we'll do is, we'll make a total of 32 chain stitches. So to make a chain stitch, this is what you do. You go left, you go under your yarn and pull up a loop. So this here is your first chain stitch. We'll do that once again. So you go left, you go under your yarn and then pull up a loop. So this here we have our 2 chain stitch. We'll do that once again. You go left, you go under your yarn and pull up a loop. Here we have 3 chain stitch. Now like this, I'm going to make a total of 32 chain stitch. So complete your chain stitch and meet me at the end of this row. So I'll just finish my 32 chain stitch and meet you. Alright, so here I have got my 32 chain stitch. So we will start off our first row. So what we'll do is, to make our first row, we are going to skip the first chain stitch. So this here is our first chain stitch. The first chain stitch from the hook, that we are going to skip. And into the second chain stitch, we are going to make a single crochet. So skipping the first chain stitch, we are going to place a single crochet in the second stitch. So insert your hook into the second stitch from the hook. Okay, then you pull up a loop. You have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through both. So this here is our first single crochet. We'll make a single crochet in the next stitch. So to make a single crochet, you insert your hook into the second stitch or the next stitch, then pull up a loop. You have 2 loops, you yarn over and pull through both. So this here is our next single crochet. Like that, we have to make 1 single crochet in each of these stitches. Okay, so we'll do that once again. So into your next stitch, so this here is your next stitch. So in that stitch, you make a single crochet. So insert your hook into that stitch, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through both. So like this, I'm going to make 1 single crochet in each of these stitches. Now we had started out with 32 chain stitch, and in that we had skipped 1 stitch. So we have a total of 31 chain stitch. So in all of these 31 chain stitch, we have to make 1 single crochet. So once you finish this row, you will have a total of 31 single crochet. So I'll make my 31 single crochet and meet you at the end of this row. So just continue making your single crochets. So I'll just show you. So this is how this look so far. So I'm just continue and make my single crochet till I reach the very end. Alright, so here I am at the end of this row here. I have last 2 stitches left, so I thought I'll just do that with you. So here, these are my last 2 stitches. So I'll just make a single crochet in those 2 stitches as well. So this here is my very last stitch. Here also I'm going to make 1 single crochet. So here I have a total of 31 single crochets. So this is 1 row of single crochet. Now once you finish your row 1, we'll start our row 2. So every row from here onwards will start with chain 1. So chain 1 and then turn your work. Now the chain 1 that you have put is going to be acting as a turning chain. It doesn't have any significance. So we'll start our second row, and in second row also we are going to place 1 single crochet. So for that we will first insert our hook into the first stitch. So skip the turning chain or the chain 1 that you have put and insert your hook into the very first single crochet. Now when you insert it, if you just flip it a little bit, you can see that there are V's. So we are going below the V, catching both the loops, and then complete our single crochet. So we insert our hook, pull up a loop. We have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both. So this here is our first single crochet. Come to the next stitch, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both. So this is our second single crochet. Like that, just make 1 single crochet in each of these stitches. So I'll just finish making 1 row of single crochet. So here again you will have a total of 31 single crochet. So just make 1 single crochet in each of these stitches. So I'll finish my 31 single crochets and meet you at the end of this row. So here I have completed my second row as well, and I have a total of 31 single crochet. Now if you are a beginner, I'll highly recommend that you count the number of stitches and confirm that the number of single crochet is same in every row. So here I have 31 single crochet. Once this row is finished, so this was my last single crochet here. After that you have to chain 1 and then turn your work. Now from here the pattern is the same. Every time you finish your row, you have to chain one and then turn your work. And again we are going to make one single crochet in all of these stitches till the end of this row. Again we'll have a total of 31 single crochet. So we'll do that once again. So this was your turning chain. You skip that, go directly into the first stitch here and make a single crochet. So this here is my first stitch. I'm going to make a single crochet like this. Come to your next stitch like so and complete your single crochet. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both. So like this, here again I'm going to make one full row of single crochets. So this is my third row of single crochet. Now what you have to do is you have to repeat these single crochet row for a total of 10 rows. So this is my third row here. I'll repeat the same single crochet row for 10 rows, a total of 10 rows. So I'll make the third row and then 7 more rows of single crochet. So I'll just meet you once I have 10 rows of single crochet, and make sure that each row has a total of 31 single crochets. So I'll just finish this and meet you. So here I have finished my 10 rows of single crochet. Now what I'll do is I'll just cut my yarn here. So this was my last single crochet. So I'm going to cut my yarn. So I'm just going to pull my yarn off to a certain length and then cut this off. Okay. So this is 10 rows of single crochet. So this is just one strip. Now we'll make the second part of this. So for that I'm again going to take my yarn, and before that what I'd like to do is I'll just count the 7 stitches from one end. So we'll just start from this end and count 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here this is my 7 stitches and this here is my 8th stitch. So I'm just going to insert my hook for the moment here. This is my 8th stitch. I have skipped the 7 stitches. Now what I'll do is I'll take my yarn and then attach my yarn to the 8th stitch. So this here is my 8th stitch. I'm just going to pull my yarn through, and just for the sake of this I'm just going to knot it down like this. Okay, now what we'll do is we will again attach the hook to the very same stitch, the 8th stitch here itself, and I'm going to just draw up this loop. Now after this you are going to make 3 chain stitch. So make 3 chain stitch, 1, 2 and 3. So here we have our 3 chain stitch. After that I'm going to skip 1 stitch, and into the next stitch I'm going to make a half double crochet. So skip 1 stitch and in the next make a half double crochet. So to make a half double crochet you have to yarn over first, insert your hook into that stitch, skipping 1 stitch. This is the next stitch. So I'm just inserting my hook and pulling up my yarn through that. I have 3 loops here. So yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops. So this here is my first half double crochet. After that you have to chain 1. You skip 1 stitch and in the next stitch make a half double crochet. So skip 1 stitch and in the next make a half double crochet. To make a half double crochet you have to yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all the 3. So this is how this looks. This is basically for the eyelets so that you can pass the string. So here you have a half double crochet, you chain 1, you skip 1 stitch and in the next again make a half double crochet. So skipping 1 stitch, into the next stitch make a half double crochet. Now this you have to do till there are 7 stitches left. So what I'll do is, for the purpose of this video, I'm again going to count 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and here is my 8th stitch. You don't have to mark, you can just count it, but I thought I'll just do it for the sake of clarity. So here again I have skipped my 7 stitches. I've just attached 1 stitch marker in the 8th stitch. So you have to do this thing till you reach the stitch marker. So we'll continue with this pattern. So this was my half double crochet. After that you have to chain 1, you skip 1 stitch and then make a half double crochet in the next stitch. So I'll just repeat the pattern here till I reach my stitch marker. So what we do is, this was a half double crochet, you chain 1, you skip 1 stitch and into the next stitch make a half double crochet. So chain 1, skip 1 and then a half double crochet like this. So just do it till you reach your stitch marker, or there are 7 stitches left. So this is my chain 1. I have reached my stitch marker. I'll just remove it here and then place my last half double crochet here. So this is how this looks so far. Alright, now we will move on to the next stitch. So for that you have to chain 1 and then you turn your work. Now what we'll do is, in every the chain 1 space we are going to place 2 single crochets. So come to the first chain 1 space and make 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. Then come to the next chain 1 space, this one, and place 2 single crochet, 1, and in the same stitch another one, 2. So like this I'll just finish this till I reach the end. Just place 2 single crochet in each of the chain 1 space. So this 1 and 2. Come to this space and make 2 single crochet. So this is 1, in the same stitch another one, 2 single crochet. So 1 and in the same another one. So this here is my last chain 1 space. Here again I'm going to make 2 single crochet. So this finishes this round. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make 1 single crochet in each of these stitches for 3 more rounds. So that we'll do it. So we chain our work here and turn. And what we'll do is, in each of these stitches we'll place 1 single crochet each. So this here is my first chain stitch, sorry, first single crochet. There I'm going to make a single crochet like this. Come to the next stitch here and make your single crochet. So like that, on top of each of these stitches just make 1 single crochet. And I'm going to make this single crochet row for 2 more rows. Total I should have a total of 3 rows of single crochet. So here this is 1, sorry, I meant this here is a single crochet. Apart from that you have to make 3 more single crochet. So this is 1, 2 and 3. So I'll make 3 more rows of single crochets. So here I have finished 3 more rows of single crochet, and this is how a piece looks. Now I'll just cut my yarn here. So I'm just going to pull the yarn through and cut it off. So this is how your piece should be looking. Just take this off and it's done. So this is how your piece should look like. Now we'll fold this up and stitch it together. So before that you have to find which is your right side and which is your wrong side. Now this tail end, if it lies on your left side, it means that this here is your right side, and if it lies on your right side, it means that this side is your wrong side. So what we'll do is, so this here is our right side, we are going to fold it like this. So we are facing the wrong side now, and we are going to stitch this up together. Now for that I have taken my darning needle, and I am just going to take a long yarn here, long piece of yarn, and what we'll do is we'll stitch this up from this side all the way till here, till here. So from here, here, here we are going to stitch it up. You can use any stitch of your choice. So I'll just try to align it as closely as possible. Come to the very first stitch here and then stitch it up. So like this, I'm going to go through the different stitches and stitch this up together. I'm going through both the loops. So this here is 2 loops. This here is again 2 loops. So I'm going to go through both the loops to stitch it up. Now, if you find it convenient to use only one loop, you can do that. Any stitch you can use to stitch this end. So I'll just quickly run through this. Okay, so here I have reached almost the end of this. Okay, so here I have reached almost the end. I have stitched up till here, but instead of going to the 2 stitches to the very end, I like to go like this, so that it is not like a square booties, but it has a rounded edge. So this was my very last stitch. Instead of going to the very end, I'm going inside to have a rounded edge to it like this. So this will avoid the perfectly square boxed kind of booty look. So just go up now and stitch it up. So I'll do that as well. And here again, when you reach that end, you can avoid that boxed end if you don't stitch it at the corner. Okay, so here we have reached the end of this place also. So I'm not going to stitch the very corner, but I'm going to go like this to have a rounded effect. So I'll just stitch it like so and go up here. So what I have done is I have not stitched at the very end or very corner. I've avoided that and I'm stitching this from this side also. Okay, so here I have reached the very end and I'll just make my final stitch here. All right, and then I'm just going to knot this down. So at the very end, you just knot it down properly so that it stays in place. Okay, now you can cut the long tail. And you'll have to weave in all the loose ends, but before that you just flip it over like this. Okay, so your booty is done. Okay, so here our booties is ready. So you can either use this like a booty, like with a cuff, or you can fold this down. So this is another way of using it. You can even make a long chain stitch and pass it to tie this up. So I have already made a chain stitch here. It's a little bit different here. I have a small teardrop kind of a thing also. So for this pattern, if you want to know how to make this teardrop kind of a thing at the end, I have a mittens with the same pattern. So for that I had made this kind of a chain stitch with a small teardrop, or you can make a normal chain stitch. That's more than enough. And all you have to do is you have to just pass it through the eyelets that are here. So just pass it. You can even use a ribbon if you want to, but for the time being I'm just using this tie-up thing. You can use different colored chain stitch also. So each time you are taking a picture, I know when you are a new mom or a grandmom or a aunt, you really want to take pictures of kids. So you can just mix and match. You can just change the color. You can use ribbons or maybe a pom-pom to attach it. And maybe you'll get a new looking booties every single time and you can click a lot of pictures, which is what I like to do. Okay, so here I have just passed it through the eyelets here and just tie this up quite nicely. So you just have to tie it and knot it, and if you just knot it, it will not move, which is why I always prefer this tie-ups. So this is how the pattern is. I hope you liked it and you'll give it a try. If you like it, please do not forget to press on the like button. Please share your thoughts on the comment box. I would love to hear your thoughts on this booty pattern. And if you're new to my channel, please do consider subscribing. For all other baby patterns, I have put a playlist. You can find the links to all of those patterns in the description box. I will be updating it as and when I put new tutorials. Okay, so that's all for the tutorial here. I hope you loved it and you'll enjoy it making along with me. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye. Thank you for watching.